It's 3 a.m. You should be asleep. Instead, you're lying there in the dark, staring at the ceiling. And then it hits you. Something you said at a party 4 years ago. Something so small, nobody probably even noticed. But your brain replays it anyway. Slow motion, full volume, over and over again. Like it's trying to punish you for something. You're not broken. Your brain is doing something specific. And once you understand what it is, you'll never look at those 3 a.m. spirals the same way again. Let's start with the basic question. Why does your brain do this at all? Not during the day, when you're busy, not when you're distracted, specifically at night, specifically when you're trying to sleep, specifically when there's nothing else to focus on. That's not a coincidence. That's the point. Your brain has a system called the default mode network. It's a collection of regions that activate when you're not focused on anything external, when you're not driving, working, scrolling, or talking, when the world goes quiet and your mind is left alone with itself. Scientists used to think this network was just background noise, the brain idling, doing nothing important. They were completely wrong. In 2001, neuroscientist Marcus Raichle at Washington University published a paper that changed how we understand the resting brain. He found that the default mode network wasn't quiet at all. It was one of the most active systems in the entire brain, burning more energy during rest than almost any other region does during focused work. So what is it doing? It's running a review. Your brain uses every quiet moment to process unresolved social experiences, conversations that didn't go the way you expected, moments where you said the wrong thing, situations where you couldn't tell if someone was upset with you, interactions that ended without a clear resolution, and it replays them, not to torture you, to prepare you. Here's why this matters. For 300,000 years, your ancestors lived in small groups of roughly 50 to 150 people. In those groups, social rejection wasn't uncomfortable, it was lethal. If the group turned on you, if you said the wrong thing to the wrong person, broke the wrong rule, embarrassed yourself in front of the wrong people, you could be exiled. And exile meant death. No food, no shelter, no protection from predators. Alone on the savannah, you didn't last long. So your brain evolved to treat social mistakes the exact same way it treats physical threats, with the same urgency, the same alarm system, the same obsessive need to analyze and prepare so it never happens again. That party 4 years ago, your brain doesn't know it was just a party. It thinks your survival was on the line, and it's replaying the footage to figure out what went wrong. But here's what's fascinating. It specifically does this at night. During the day, your prefrontal cortex, the rational, logical part of your brain, keeps things relatively calm. It filters, it moderates, it tells the alarm system to quiet down because there are more important things to focus on right now. But at night, the prefrontal cortex goes offline. Not completely, but enough. This is why fears feel bigger at 3 a.m., why problems feel unsolvable, why that one embarrassing moment from 4 years ago feels like the most important thing that has ever happened to you. Your brain's emotional centers are running at full power. Your rational filter is barely functioning. And your default mode network is wide awake, pulling files, running simulations, asking the same question on a loop. What could you have done differently? In 2007, psychologist Mark Baldwin at McGill University ran a series of experiments on social rejection memory. He found that the brain stores socially painful memories with significantly more detail and emotional weight than neutral memories. The faces of people who judged you negatively, the exact words that landed wrong, the specific moment you realized something had gone badly. Your brain doesn't just remember these moments, it photographs them, and then it files them somewhere it can find them quickly, because the whole point is to never let that situation happen again. There's even a name for the 3 a.m. spiral specifically. Researchers call it rumination, and it's distinct from regular thinking. Normal thinking moves forward, it generates solutions, it reaches conclusions and moves on. Rumination is a loop. It revisits the same moment from slightly different angles. It asks the same questions. It never reaches a satisfying answer. Because the answer it's looking for doesn't exist. It wants a guarantee, a certainty that this mistake will never happen again, that you will never be rejected, that you will always say the right thing. And that guarantee doesn't exist. So it keeps running. Now here's the part that changes how you think about this. The people who ruminate the most are not, on average, the most socially awkward. They're not the ones who make the most mistakes. They tend to be the ones who care the most about other people, about how they come across, about the impact their words have. Your 3 a.m. brain isn't a sign that something is wrong with you. It's a sign that something is working. The same system that tortures you at 3 a.m. is the system that makes you considerate, that makes you empathetic, that makes you the kind of person who thinks carefully about how you treat other people. The problem isn't that the system exists. The problem is that it runs without an off switch. It was built for a world where every social interaction had real survival stakes, where every mistake needed to be analyzed and corrected before the next day. It wasn't built for a world where you can lie awake for hours thinking about something nobody else even remembers. So what do you do with it? Neuroscientists have found one thing that actually interrupts the loop. Not suppressing the thought, not trying to force yourself to stop, but naming it. Literally saying, out loud or in your head, my brain is running its social threat review right now. Labeling the process pulls the prefrontal cortex back online. It re-engages the rational filter. It creates just enough distance between you and the thought for the loop to slow down. Not stop, but slow. Because that system is ancient. It's not going anywhere. Every human being who has ever lain awake in the dark has had this experience. The cringe, the replay, the same moment on loop, the same questions with no answers. You're not malfunctioning. You're running a program that kept your ancestors alive for 300,000 years. It just wasn't designed for 3 a.m.